I am Dr. Kim Duramo. I want to share this really amazing, powerful session, a private session I did with an amazing woman. We've shared some things before, and she said it was okay for us to share the video version of this. But it was so powerful. I know this will apply to so many people who can come through the integration that we did. We really brought up a lot of the energies where we're living in fear, separation, not knowing our power, feeling powerless. And she had had an illness that they were telling her this is MS, or, you've got, this disease, autoimmune disease, and weakness and pain in the legs and difficulty walking, like a lot of different things that had been coming up before we were working together. She's had a lot of progress and done really, really well. And so some of the things that were coming up with pain in the legs, but we feel underneath those energies, like the physical sensations are always there to help us feel into, the symptoms are there to help us feel into what's underneath this, where I'm living from powerless, so I'm always trying to struggle, or I'm living in fear, so I'm always in control, right? This is tension in the body that can show up in specific ways. But when we tune into the physical, we will feel those energies, we will feel those emotions, and then we can let that move, which she did so beautifully in the session, and you'll do it along with her. But the other thing that came up was where she's like conditionally okay, but as long as XYZ is happening, and then she getting hijacked, like this thing happened or that thing happened, or ouch, the symptoms happening or something with my kid, instead of the space where my well-being comes from within me. So in this session, we moved from I'm conditionally okay as long as this happens, or as long as this doesn't happen, but bounce around like a ping pong ball, especially if you're really empathic and energy sensitive. It is so intense when you're hooking your well-being to the outer, right? Like my well-being is dependent on what's happening outside me. So now you just have to try to stay in control all the time, which really doesn't work. So we unhooked that and grounded her into a space of true serenity. So this is truly the space of I am a creator. I am a creator. How do I move into the deepest spaces in me to reclaim my energy and create what it is that I truly want, that I truly am? So I'm so grateful to share this session. I'm so grateful for this beautiful woman that we're bringing this to you. And here you go. So how are you?
Since 1 hour better.
Is it what?
Since 1 hour I'm better. Because my younger son, now we have a student who gives him some lessons to help him to learn, and this seems too much. So he feels better now. Okay. But it was a very, very tough time now. Yeah, because he was just crying and told me that he doesn't want to go to school anymore, and so on and so on. Okay. So I was practicing to let my kids struggle, but it's very, very hard for me. Okay. What's coming up in your system that's really important is take a few deep breaths. Okay. Okay, it's really important to have so much compassion for the space inside us, for the one inside us, so much compassion for the one who, okay, we'll say it this way, has experienced life linearly. I'm little and then I grow and I'm big and then this happens and then that happens. The one who is experiencing life as linear reality, the one who is experiencing life in separation. Okay, so this one who experiences life in separation, my child's out there, I'm over here. Everything is conditional. And you feel where you are residing right now, where your consciousness is residing right now, how dense that is. Scary, lacking, I might not be okay. I gotta hustle, I gotta act, I gotta constantly. And so this really brings me off center to operate this way. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So put your hand right on your heart and breathe.
And all we're going to say, just acknowledge, life is asking me to step into something higher.
Life is asking me to step into something higher.
Okay, take a deep breath. Now, the mind doesn't know what the heck that means. That doesn't make sense, but you can trust and surrender a little to the premise. Life is asking me to step into something higher. I have no idea how. What the hell would that look like? That's neither here nor there. Life is asking me to step into something higher. Okay, say, what would it take for me to surrender and allow?
What will it take for me to surrender and allow
Myself to step into something higher?
Myself to step into something higher.
Beyond separation.
Beyond separation.
Beyond lack and fear.
Beyond lack and fear.
So there is unconditional serenity.
So there is unconditional serenity.
In all moments.
In all moments.
Okay, that's it. Just stay right there. So we're stepping into a space where, even to a small degree, even a little corner of serenity, that's always there, and it's unconditional. I'm stepping into a space where there's unconditional serenity in me in all moments. So just resonate with that for a moment. I'm stepping into this space where there's unconditional serenity in me in all moments. Okay, so breathe that. Say, it's okay for me to move into this.
It's okay for me to move into this.
And I don't have to know how.
And I don't have to know how.
Yeah, so there's a point where my choice allows it to happen. And some people ask the angels, assist me, ask the higher self. We don't have to worry about the how. We are not doing it. We are choosing to allow it to be so. Yes to that. It's all we're doing. Okay, so let me just feel your system's totally on board for this. So this is really good. Say it out loud. I know this is the highest for my children.
I know it is the highest for my children.
And the highest for my body.
And the highest for my body.
And the highest for my world.
And the highest for my world.
So I choose to step into this.
Now I choose to step into this.
And allow something higher in me.
And allow something higher in me.
Okay, good. That's enough. So that's perfect. So just breathe there. So the old way.
So the old way.
Where my well-being is conditional.
What?
Where my well-being is conditional.
Where my being is conditional.
Yeah, your well-being is conditional, right? Like, my kid's doing well, I feel good. This thing didn't go well, I don't feel good. This happens, that happens. And now there's a place where we get to where it's so much of a ping pong ball. Who's controlling this? And, we know we can't control the outer. The key is now, say, I let go.
I let go.
Of having the outer.
Of having the outer.
Determine what's happening in here.
Determine what's happening in here.
I let go.
I let go.
Of having my inner world.
Of having my inner world.
Be dependent on the outer world.
Be dependent on the outer world.
Take a few deep breaths. You're doing awesome. You're doing awesome. Okay. Say, in truth.
In truth.
The outer world.
The outer world.
Is a reflection of what's in me.
Is a reflection of what's in me.
Is a reflection of my inner world.
Is a reflection of my inner world.
Okay, so take a few breaths there. When we live in alignment, the first truth, we're aligned with truth, right? Truth, the outer world is a reflection of my inner world. When we're in alignment, our system honors and prioritizes the inner space first, second, and third. What's in me is what will happen out there. And so my attention, my focus, my intention
now becomes to choose harmony within. So X, Y, Z is happening. I choose harmony within. Take a few breaths. Not as a way to escape the outer or the unwanted, but as a way to create and manifest the truth. Take a deep breath. You're doing awesome. All of this is going in. Okay, say, I am now knowing myself to be.
I am now knowing myself to be
A creator.
a creator.
So take a deep breath. Just slow down and breathe. Your system's letting all of this in. You just want to breathe. So breathe into every cell. When we speak the words, we bring up a frequency. And when we breathe, we let that frequency percolate deeper and deeper and deeper into the system. Super easy. That's part of creatorship as well. Okay, so just breathe right there. Okay, as you breathe, let every cell open, let your abdomen open, let your gut open, let everything receive this. As you breathe into the belly, see light coming into the belly. And on the exhale, let the exhale release everything that's ready to go. Old ideas, old emotions, old protections, old programs. Good. So take like 10 exhales. Let the exhale release the old programs. And also let the inhale bring in light through the whole belly. I am a creator. I choose to create prosperity. You're doing awesome. Keep letting that in. Every breath is a transmutation, and it allows the body to go higher and higher, to receive and reside in a higher frequency. So let the body take it in. Your body will hold this. Okay, say, it's okay for me to create a space.
It's okay for me to create a space
Of unconditional serenity.
Of unconditional serenity.
Within me.
Within me.
A space that is unwavering.
A space that is unwavering.
Not distracted by the outer.
Not distracted by the outer.
Because it knows itself.
Because it knows itself.
Okay, breathe right there. You're doing awesome. Perfect. Now soften your body. Now, as you breathe, let the breath come. If you see the breath as light filling the body, let it expand beyond the body on the inhale. Say, it's time for me to create the truth in my life.
Time for me to create the truth in my life.
And remember who I am.
And remember who I am.
It's okay for me to create this way.
Okay for me to create this way.
And to let it be easy.
And to let it be easy.
To welcome the light.
Welcome the light.
And let it come through me.
And let it come through me.
And transmute the lower densities.
And transmute lower densities.
Yeah. Okay, good. The lower densities are just the old belief systems of how I see myself, how I see the world, what I think is possible. All of this is moving for you very, very rapidly. You're doing great. Drink a lot of water today. Okay. Say, with total compassion for myself,
total compassion for myself.
I know what it's like
I know what it's like
to live in the world of conditionality.
to live in the world of conditionality.
Okay. See, some people move through life and, you know, this happens, that happens, and they, yes, they're bouncing around like a ping pong ball. Like my kid's not good. I'm not happy about it, or I lost my job, but they aren't anywhere near as sensitive to energy. So they're like, let me have an extra glass of wine. Oh, that day sucked. Or let me just, get addicted to social media, and they avoid really meeting the density. Now, for you, obviously, that is a million miles away from where you are. I want you to feel right now what it's really like. Okay. Because when the thing happens and your system goes into collapse and, fear or
Yeah, this is what happens. Yeah, this is what happens. Yeah.
I want you to feel what is actually happening. Like you are right there. It is really painful. It is hard. It is fearful. It is you feel powerless. So I want you to just right now, because we're going to honor with compassion. Say, I honor with compassion.
I honor with compassion.
What it's really like.
What it's really like.
To live in that consciousness.
Live in that consciousness.
Okay, now I want you to feel just how freaking not okay. Like it's a nightmare, right? It's a nightmare. This thing's happening and I feel fear. This thing's happening and I feel powerless. This thing's happening. There's so much pain. Okay, good, perfect. All you're gonna do is breathe. It feels like to me right in the solar plexus. So breathe right through your solar plexus, breathe right through your belly. Say, I welcome light into these spaces.
I welcome light into these spaces.
Rather than avoid them.
Rather than avoid them.
I allow this transmutation.
I allow this transmutation.
I do this with courage.
I do this with courage.
Because I came here to be the light.
Because I came here to be light.
All right, breathe all the way down to the belly. Okay, a lot of breath. We're doing great.
It's difficult when I'm so stressed. There are symptoms coming up, and I always tell myself I'm accepting the symptoms, I love them, and so on. But it's so hard for me.
Well, because you've still been operating in that consciousness of separation. So it will be a lot of work to try to rise above it, so to speak. What actually will be most beneficial is to let yourself ascend into the higher consciousness of oneness, serenity, even if it's just a little, even if it's a little small space of unconditional serenity, you will access it. You'll have access to it, and it will soften the intensity of what you're experiencing, because you won't be bought in to the same degree that this is what I got to do. And you actually won't behave and act in that same way, because you'll have a little awareness, even if you're like, I don't know what to do, but let me pause on doing that. You won't go into the same pattern. And then day by day by day by day, it will be more and more and more, and it will guide you, because then you'll see the result. You'll see, oh, wow, my kid totally just opened up after 5 minutes. It used to be 5 days, wow, like something shifting. It will show itself to you. And then that space of unconditional serenity gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's okay to start with, even a little small space for unconditional serenity, right?
So instead of putting the well-being outside of me where it's conditional, or it's really what I'm doing is you've been linking how I feel to what's happening outside. They're linked versus unlinked. There's what's happening outside. Okay, wow, how's that going to work out? Okay, but I'm not attached to it. I'm not syncing up with it. I am connecting first and foremost with a space of serenity in me. And then, yeah, there's gonna be like maybe still engaging, like, oh, I don't like this, but there's 2% where it's like, and it's okay. And maybe it does grab your system and you're like, well, I feel so intense in my body. And there's a little space somewhere, somehow, where I'm going to surrender. And you'll access that serenity, even if it's a little bit. And so that will grow and grow and grow, where you're like, doesn't matter. It's okay. XYZ is happening. I know serenity. I will activate serenity. And that's what lets the manifestation change.
Mm-hmm.
This is mastery. Do you see what you're stepping into?
Sorry, what?
I said, this is mastery. Do you see what you're stepping into? Are you aware of that?
Not really.
Okay. On some level, so you've been very empathic your whole life, super sensitive, but now you're learning to master that. Like, why did I get this gift? Because I'm here to awaken, because I'm here to be in mastery of creation. I'm here to be a vessel for divine creation, right? We're creating something higher in the world right now. We are stepping into creating a very different world. It will come through us, not outside of us. Where is it? Please come, please help me. It will come through us. And you are here to be in mastery to some degree and allow this and be a part of this. And so the thing that maybe seemed like a curse your whole life, why am I so sensitive, picking up on others' energies and things that are so intense for me? You are now awakening to it as a gift. It's always been a gift, but we sure don't experience it as a gift when we're hooked into that outer world.
What do you suggest now? I have again pain in my leg and my feet, and it's more. And what should I do? Should I do the sessions like we did in the beginning? Because
Okay.
at the moment it feels like that I've never done something with me.
Yes. When we are shifting out of that space, we're going to have to meet more of the densities that are in that space. And when we meet those densities, it's like, I got nothing. I've never done any work. I'm totally in the shit, which isn't actually true at all. But we're meeting that next layer. So we've cultivated more light. We've cultivated more willingness. We've cultivated more courage. And then we surrender to those deeper spaces so we can bring the light into those spaces. And those spaces will feel just as dark, just as impossible, just as hopeless, just as dense. The only difference is I meet them with more willingness. So for when this comes up for me, I'm like, wow, this is freaking massive. And to some little degree, I know what I'm doing. I say yes anyway. Yes, I will step through this. I will move through this to the expansion. That's what I'm really being led to. Okay, so just breathe. You're doing so great with this. There isn't a lot of resistance in your system. Like sometimes people are like, yeah, but, and the mind has to kick in and try to control and figure it out. And the mind masters it. You are very receptive. And I think it's because on a deep level, you do know that you're here to awaken and be a part of the awakening for others, to be in service. Okay, so just breathe. Okay, so say, my body heals when I open.
My body heals when I open.
Because when you release the old consciousness of holding and controlling and figuring out, and I'm connected to the outer, so it's all so conditional. That's really hard on the body. That creates a lot of tension in the body, like I'm white knuckling through life. When I remember, wait a minute, all this chaos, what would it take to let this resolve? That's a different electromagnetic frequency. It's a different physical state. It's a different physiological hormonal signal. Then the body is no longer carrying that tension. It's more fluid. It's more fed, watered, nurtured. And obviously healing happens very easily. Okay, so say my body can be my indicator.
My body can be my indicator
Of when I'm holding tension.
When I'm holding tension.
And operating in fear.
And operating in fear.
So that I can make a new choice.
So that I can make a new choice.
Okay, so just breathe. And yeah, you're doing great. Just breathe. So having awareness in the body is a superpower. It's so many people want to just have less awareness and numb out so they don't feel the pain. But if I remember, wait a minute, I'm the one creating, I can master some of this, then the sensitivity of like, whoa, my shoulders are tight. Oh, I have, tension in my ears. Wait a minute, what if I relax, soften, drop in? And even if it physically doesn't change right away, I can stay curious and keep listening and keep feeling for the opening. Oh, wait, what if I bring my attention to my belly? What if I feel my bum on the seat and breathe? The only two things you are in charge of, the only two things you control is where I put my attention and what I do with my body. Where I put my attention and what I do with my body. So if I receive the feedback system of, oh, there's chaos happening in my life, which is a reflection of my energy, or, oh, there's tension and pain in my body, which is a reflection of my energy, my choice, my go-to will be where I put my attention, what do I do with my body? So for me, a lot of times I get out of my head, I go right into my heart, I go right into my womb and my pelvis. I feel and sense my legs, my feet, my hips, right? So where I shift, where I put my attention. And you can even do, sometimes I do gratitudes. I'm grateful and thankful for resolution and healing. And then the second piece is what I do with my body. So that part is maybe I just physically soften my shoulders. Maybe I breathe all the way to my belly. Maybe I shake the body out, sometimes going for a walk or doing something bigger. So if I'm in charge of where I put my attention and what I do with my body, and that always changes everything. Sometimes I got to refine, I got to learn, I got to pay attention. Oh, what is that doing? Oh, that created more tension. Oh yeah, let me do the opposite of that. Got to pay attention. If that's my go-to to shift my frequency, shift my consciousness.
Do you suggest that I should shift my consciousness when now my foot is burning? Should I shift it to another place where it's okay?
Well, sometimes you could say, I love you, I love you, I love you. You could see opening of the, just like a vessel of light coming in to feed the nerves, to feed the vessels, the tissues. It may not. Yeah.
I try to do this.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay because your body is letting you know that the frequency you're operating in isn't working for you. It's like, I'm starving, I'm not getting enough blood. So when we open, and it might not have anything to do with the leg physically, right? It might just be, I release having the outer world dictate what's happening in me. I release having the outer world dictate what I pay attention to and what I do. I release having the outer will dictate who I think I am. This is what you're moving into, and this will create the most acceleration, and it will immediately bring your body into a different physiologic state that lets those nerves get fed. So it could be on a bigger level, it could be on a smaller level. When it feels like you're micromanaging, I'm trying to relax my leg. Come on, I love you. I love you. Why won't you go away? That's not, that's like manipulation. So you're going to get even better at paying attention to like, oh, wait, if it's not responding, what do I need to do? How do I do it differently? How do I be serenity for my body? Because being serenity is not make the leg better, make the thing better. What's not working? Whenever I'm in, it's not working, I'm not in creatorship. I'm in attachment. Whenever I'm in creatorship, I'm a receiver. Yes, leg, show me. Where do I need to go? I'm open. And that's different. I'm open, I'm receptive is not, I'm trying, whatever. What am I doing wrong? Maybe I'll do it this way. Maybe I'll do it that way. That's control. So always be more receptive. Thank you. Show me. Feel the pain. Welcome the pain. See, the thing is, when you're open, the signal of the pain, your body already knows what to do. You're in the way. You know, the mind is in the way, trying to control it. So if I'm in expansion, life is happening for me. I surrender and allow. I'm moving into a new consciousness. I open to let this process happen. Now the feedback from the body, like, oh, this doesn't feel good. And the wisdom, oh, let me bring this in, is automatic. It's all seamless. If you're not in the way controlling it, it happens. The body knows how to heal itself. And then it will guide you for like, what can you do? Go take some zinc, go get your vitamin D, go do this. Maybe there's stuff, but that will come from inspiration. The healing feedback loop happens automatically when we get out of the equation. And so what we're doing in this, what we're doing here is getting you out of the equation, right? Expand into a higher consciousness. I allow, I know my inner system is handling it. I surrender. That's all we're doing. More surrender allows the acceleration of you coming into mastery, of you realizing who you are, of the body reharmonizing and rebalancing. Okay, so just put your hand on your heart and say, the old me that wants to do it and get it right.
The old me wants to do it and get it right.
I choose to love that one unconditionally.
I choose to love that one unconditionally.
The old me that thinks I have to control.
The old me that thinks I have to control
is exactly what's moving out now.
Is exactly what's moving out now.
I choose to love that one fully.
I choose to love that one fully.
So I can be the one who loves unconditionally.
So that I can be the one who loves unconditionally.
Yeah, every time I choose to move into accept what's happening, I embrace myself fully. I welcome the one in fear. Every time I move into that, I move into the wisdom. I move into alignment with the higher self. I align with the higher self. And so if this thing is strengthening me in aligning with the higher self, why wouldn't I love it? Why wouldn't I be grateful for it? Why wouldn't I see it as the greatest gift in the universe? So say all of this is serving me.
All of this is serving me.
In aligning with my highest self.
In aligning with my highest self.
So I welcome this gift.
So I welcome this gift.
Of sensation.
Of sensation.
Awareness.
Awareness.
That guides me into wholeness.
That guides me into wholeness.
I release the self who thinks.
I release the self who thinks.
That the awareness and sensation is something to figure out.
That the awareness and what?
Sensation.
And sensation. Sorry, it was too quick again.
It is, yeah, I embrace the one who thinks that the awareness and sensation
I embrace the one who thinks that the awareness and sensation
is a problem to solve.
Problem to solve.
Oh, that was really good. Breathe that, breathe that. Say, I love this one fully.
I love this one fully.
The one who thinks
The one who thinks
this is a problem to solve.
this is a problem to solve.
Yeah, just love her. That's the part of us that's limited. That's the part of us that's like, I don't get this. What the hell are you talking about? Of course I have to control. She only sees the 3D reality. Well, the way we ascend is really by embracing the parts of us that aren't in wholeness, not leaving them behind. Okay, just breathe. Relax your body. Good. The more you soften your body, the more the recalibration happens for you. The words I'm saying are pointing to it and giving us a little awareness of like what's actually happening in there. They don't really do justice to describing what's actually happening in there. You are in the process of ascension. You are in the process of becoming more the light body. You're in the process of embodying divinity. Say, my body is guiding me.
My body is guiding me.
Okay, just breathe. Okay, I want you to see the whole world in front of you, all the people suffering with illness, disease, chronic. Oh my God, what do I do? And I want you to hold that space of our body is guiding us.
Our body is guiding us.
This is not a wrongness.
Not a wrongness.
Okay, just breathe for a minute. We got to let that in a little bit more. Okay, come back in your body. I want you to see in your body where it's like, oh my God, the pain and this and that. Do I have MS? Am I weak? The doctors, the diagnoses, all the ways where it becomes a problem, a really big problem, like impossible, dense, no way. And I want you to feel that with compassion. Okay, say I'm now seeing the truth.
I'm now seeing the truth
Of the technology of my body.
Of the technology of my body.
It's a feedback system.
Feedback system.
To show me.
Show me.
Where I can open.
Where I can open.
Okay, now I want you to feel when you, like years ago, you're like helpless, powerless, open. I don't know how to open. What do I do? Where do I go? So just total compassion for your former self and your now self. The one who doesn't know, one who thinks I have to know. Okay, say the one who thinks.
One who thinks.
Life comes from me.
Life comes from me.
When in truth.
When in truth.
Life comes through me.
Life comes through me.
I can open a little more.
And can open a little more.
And surrender a little more.
And surrender a little more.
To that which I don't understand.
That which I don't understand.
So that something can come through me.
That something can come through me.
And show me.
And show me.
And heal all of it for me.
And heal, all of that for me.
Yes. Say, so mastery is letting go.
So mastery is letting go.
To allow the highest possibility.
To allow the highest possibility.
Okay, good. So breathe. At this point of awareness, it's so simple, right? So simple. Let go. Fluidity flows through. It heals my body. But in the lower consciousness of fear, we really have to have a lot of compassion because the simple,
Can't even comprehend. Just take a lot of breath. Say, what if I keep remembering?
What if I keep remembering
To just take a lot of breath.
Just take a lot of breath.
And allow the universe to create.
And allow the universe to create.
Yeah. So because sometimes letting go is so much more serene than what we're doing. Like what we're doing is control, control, tight, hold. And so letting go is so much more serene. And that's why it's a path for so many. It's because, you know, when I embody serenity, obviously my electromagnetics change, my physiology changes, and my manifestation changes, my world changes. But it doesn't feel like an act. It doesn't feel like a doing. It doesn't feel like enough. But when we realize how much tension we're holding and fear we're holding, it makes sense why letting go would just create so much more serenity. Because letting go lets it all release. Letting go lets the fear resolve. It lets it all resolve. So you're remembering your power. Your power is in this moment. Your power is in letting go. Okay, say what would it take?
What would it take
for me to continue to learn?
For me to continue to learn
from my power?
From my power.
To let it show me.
Let it show me.
To stay curious.
Stay curious.
Because that opens me.
Because that opens me.
To surrender control.
Surrender control.
So more light comes in.
Some more light comes in.
And does it all for me.
And does it all for me.
Awesome. Okay, breathe. This is mastery. You are 100% there. So beautiful. Just breathe. That's it. All you do is breathe. Everything is resolving. The thoughts, the patterns, the memories, the behaviors, the belief systems, the experiences, the traumas, the densities, it's all happening. So just keep breathing. Say, I'm entering a higher dimension.
I'm entering a higher dimension.
Where things happen effortlessly.
Where things happen effortlessly.
And it feels so good and so powerful.
And feels so good and so powerful.
And the more I embrace the powerlessness.
The more I embrace powerlessness.
The more of this I let in.
The more of this I let in.
Yeah, good. So, because it's not about, I got to stay in this higher dimension. I don't want to go back down to that lower dimension. That sucks. It's when we realize, oh, this is always available. And I access it by embracing where I am. So when I'm in the density, not only like feeling the pain, what's going on in my leg, but also, wow, I also feel helpless and hopeless. Wait, how do I access that higher place? I don't know what to do. And then I'm grasping and I'm tightening and I'm trying. All I've got to do is, oh, I welcome this one. I love the one who's trying so hard. I love the one who doesn't know. I choose to embrace and love and have compassion for how hard the situation is, that I think I need to figure it out. That's what will allow a great unwinding, which is an opening, which lets this come back in more. Okay, so say, I will remember.
I will remember.
When it seems hard.
When it seems hard.
That is not the truth.
That is not true.
Yeah, and if that's all I remember, that's a little tiny, like a little light in the darkness. You get a little pinhole
but it will actually feel light through the whole room, enough for you to a little bit more see and a little bit more see. And then you eventually keep letting more light in. Say, this will be enough.
This will be enough
For me to remember wholeness again.
for me to remember wholeness again.
Okay, so just breathe. You're doing great. Just keep breathing right there. Good. Now expand your breath out beyond your body. So when you see the breath come in, you can see it as light. And you can see this light going way out beyond you. And then you can bring it further and further and further out to include everything, your children, their schools. Say, I let my energy harmonize the world.
I let my energy harmonize the world.
The people around me,
Around me,
the systems and structures,
systems and structures,
the physical spaces,
spaces,
so that it all transmutes back to wholeness.
so that it all transmutes back to wholeness.
Good. Now see the light expanding out beyond you to include your world, your children, the community, the schools, the systems, and then expand it way out beyond the whole world, the whole of humanity. Expand it out beyond humanity in pain, humanity in darkness, humanity that's been lost. Say, we are all remembering wholeness.
We're all remembering wholeness.
It's okay where we are in the process.
It's okay where we are in the process.
And then find the compassion. There's infinite compassion.
There's infinite compassion.
I will hold for this world in pain.
I will hold for this world in pain.
And for myself in pain.
And for myself in pain.
And for myself in darkness.
And for myself in darkness.
Where I think I don't know.
Where I think I don't know.
Where I think I am powerless.
Where I think I am powerlessness.
Okay, hold the compassion and just go to the compassion. The only purpose the density is serving is to invite you to expand in compassion, to expand into light, to expand into truth. Say, I am this compassion.
I am this compassion.
And so I'm grateful to be it now.
So I'm grateful to be it now.
And I'm grateful for the densities.
And I'm grateful for that density
that have guided me back to it.
That have guided me back to it.
Okay, stay with that one for a minute. I'm grateful for the densities.
I'm grateful for the densities
that have helped me remember my truth.
that have helped me to remember my truth.
Okay, now just breathe. Okay, and sometimes I'll do just a little body work. So if you take your hands and just rub them over your face, like you're washing your face, over the forehead, rub from the middle of forehead outward, and then down the sides of the cheeks and the chin. And just do that like 4 or 5 times. So this is a havening technique, but it recalibrates the nervous system. And then take your hands over your shoulders and glide your hands down your arms. So just cross them over your chest. Yep. And then glide your hands down your arms like you're patting a cat 4 or 5 times. And then the last one is just wipe your hands together like you're wiping off the old energy. Okay, and then just take a deep breath. Let everything go. One of the things you took in really, really well was not only the fact that you are here to be more of an embodiment of your truth. You are here to embody more light, more courage. But the other piece was that these circumstances are serving your mastery. This is a big one to let in for many other people, but you really, it's blowing my mind how beautifully you've let this in. Like on some level, you do know, you have always known who I'm really here to be. But you know, the small self could really bump that out. Like, yeah, what are you even talking about? Because it can't let that in. It's just too big. You've done really, really well with that.
Somehow I feel now lighter and yeah, more clear, and but there is still so much pain in my feet.
Yeah, good. Say thank you, feet.
Thank you, feet,
for letting go of this pain,
letting go of this pain,
for showing me to keep opening.
Keep opening.
I will commit to listening, to embracing what I feel, the physical sensations. Yeah, so breathe and feel the physical, whether it's like stabbing by knives or it's dull and pressure. Feel the physical, welcome it and feel it. Say, I welcome the fear that's underneath it.
I welcome the fear that is underneath it.
The powerlessness. Like there's nothing I can do. The hopelessness. Like this will never go away. Yeah, feel that. That's a big one that's there. When it's there, it immediately brings up this will never go away. I'll always be tortured. Say, this is a thought. A belief. It's an idea. Just an energy. That got embedded in my system. With this level of opening and compassion. It's more than enough. To allow that to release. So just breathe and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because sometimes the only thing that can match the depth of that embedded density of only you know just how deep that went. The only thing that can match that is the majesty of my compassion, the magnitude of my willingness, the greatness of my love. So then we got to really dig deep for that, right? Like you got to feel your love for your children, your love for that little child in you, your willingness, your courageous compassion. This is the essence of who you are. You will always, always find it to match what is to be unwound. Because the only reason these densities were put in your life is to point you to this, is to point you to that truth of who you are. Say, I never knew I had that much compassion in me.
I never knew that I have so much compassion in me.
Or so much willingness.
So much willingness.
I celebrate myself.
I celebrate myself.
For the greatness that lives in me.
The greatness that lives in me.
And the unconditional willingness.
And the unconditional willingness.
To choose love.
Choose love.
Take a deep breath. It's the only thing you can do. If you celebrate that all day long, 100% this energy will continue to release. You can look yourself in the mirror. You can say, I'm remembering who I am. Because you are that love. You are that space. And the only thing missing is more of me showing up, right? The only thing I can do is bring more of that to myself. I am the space of unconditional love, and bring it to the place where I don't know that, into the place where it's conditional and I'm suffering. You did beautifully.
Thank you very much. You're so great.
How do you feel?
Lighter. Lighter here, and lighter here, up from my hip up lighter, and from my hip down heavier.
Good. So let the heaviness, remember that is, let's just shift a little bit where you're still seeing it as a threat. Okay. Say this is evidence of the energy moving.
This is evidence of the energy moving.
Coming up where it was buried.
Coming up where it was buried.
Because of my increased willingness.
Because of my increased willingness.
To receive what's really here.
To receive what's really here.
When I stop suppressing what's here, it's going to get louder at first as it's moving out. Say, I invite this to keep moving out.
Again.
I invite this to keep moving.
I invite this to keep moving out.
In the most fluid way possible.
In the most fluid way possible.
As I embrace the hopelessness.
I embrace hopelessness.
That it is pointing me toward.
That is pointing me toward.
Yeah, because it's just showing you where you've harbored this hopelessness. So it's like these deep spaces in me, these little tiny nuggets that are hiding in there that have bought into the hopelessness and shut down. It's like a little child who's like, no, 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 don't touch me. And then she goes and hides. And you're like, I'm trying to give you love. You have to go to that child authentically, not as a manipulation to get her to open. So say, tell your feet, your body, your cells, say, take all the time you need.
Take all the time you need.
I am right here.
I am right here.
To hold a space of love.
Hold a space of love.
Unconditionally.
Unconditionally.
For us to return to wholeness.
For us to return to wholeness.
Take all the time you need.
Take all the time you need.
Tell this little child, it's a little child, tell her it's my honor to hold space for you.
It's my honor to hold space for you.
I know your fear.
I know your fear.
I know your pain.
I know your pain.
I am so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
You should never have had to hold that.
You should never have. You should never have had to hold that.
Take all the time you need.
Take all the time you need.
Little love. Yeah. Good. Exhale, 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 exhale. Let the light come in with the breath. Breathe another exhale. Do another good exhale. Breathe right into it. Let it all go. You got to see it. You got to see it. You're doing great. You got to see it. You got to meet it. You got to love it with love and compassion. That's what cracks open all the cellular densities 1,000%. Use the exhale. Good. Big inhale. A little more. Relax your forehead. You're moving the energy right now, the deepest, deepest, deepest density. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, tap right there. Tap right there. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Tap that spot on the forehead. Say, I see you. I love you. I see you. I'm right here. I am right here. Just let her receive that. You don't need to say anything out loud. Exhale, exhale. I am right here. I'm not afraid to meet this space. I love you. I am not afraid to meet this space. I love you. Yes. Yes. Let it all come out. Let it all come out. Yes. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Yes. All of that, all of that, all of that. That's what you've held. That's what you've held. Yes. 1,000%. See if you can let some light, breathe some light right into that space with the breath. Takes a lot of courage. Got to witness your courage. Good. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Relax your forehead. Relax your forehead. Shh. Let it breathe out. Let it breathe out. Let it breathe out. This is it. This is where you go. This is where you go. All you're doing is moving energy. Give it a sound. Let the breath come right into those spaces. When you're ready to exhale again, you can do even more exhale. And when you're ready to inhale, let it all come and flood into those spaces. Yeah. Just sensation. Just sensation. It's just energy. Good. A little bit more exhale. Breathe all of it out. Yes, 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 yes. Good. All of it. Let it go out. I'm not afraid to meet these spaces. I'm not afraid to relax your forehead. I'm not afraid to meet these spaces. I have unthinkable courage. I have unconditional compassion. I have all the love in the world. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. No matter how big it is, show me. Tell her, let her send it to yourself. No matter how big it is, you show me. I love you. We are doing this all the way, 100%. Good. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Yes, it's beautiful. Let her know it's beautiful. Beautiful. Show me more. Show me more. Good. Now breathe it all the way out. Soften your body, soften your forehead. Breathe it all the way in. Soften your face. Yes. More breath in. Just a little more softening in the face. More breath in. Yeah. Yes. No matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, soften and breathe. One more big deep breath. Say it's okay to go this deep with myself.
It's okay to go this deep with myself.
And bring the love and compassion that I am.
And bring the love and compassion that I am.
into these spaces of density,
into the spaces of density,
into the spaces that don't know,
into spaces
that don't know.
that don't know.
Good. That's amazing. Those particular spaces, by the way, are really the hopelessness, the helplessness, the powerlessness. It's just the spaces where I really bought into my powerlessness. So you breathe, you find courage, you exhale, exhale, exhale. You could feel that squeezing. And then you let the light pop in and let the light move in. It will move into those spaces. Few more breaths. See if you can breathe all the way back into those sensations, because the physical sensations will lead you to those densities underneath them. Okay, say I'm learning to breathe myself.
I'm learning to breathe myself,
My full self.
my full self,
And reclaim all my power.
and reclaim all my power.
So I create a life of light.
I create a life of light.
Good. Take a few more deep breaths way down into those deep spaces. That was good. Okay, now fill yourself up with light. Let it come through the top of your head. This is divine crystalline pure white light, the highest frequency light available to us. Let it come right through your head and your crown. Let it come right through into your head and your third eye. All the time in the world. Let it come all the way down through your throat. Let it just come into space and recalibrate. It will do it for you. It's okay for me to speak, to share, to be heard. It's okay for me to let this out. Say that one out loud. It's okay for me to let this out.
Okay for me to let that out.
Good. Now let the light come through your throat. Beautiful. Now let it come down your shoulders and into your heart. Say it's okay for me to open to love.
Okay for me to open to love
And receive love.
and receive love.
Okay, let the light come into your heart. And then let it come down your solar plexus. Say it's okay for me to release who I am.
Okay for me to release who I am.
And open to what is the truth.
And open to what is the truth.
You just let the light come in your solar plexus. Really good. Now let it come down your belly into the sacral chakra. Just below the belly button. And let it come all the way down to the root. Say it's okay for me to be in a new world.
Okay for me to be in a new world.
In a true foundation.
A true foundation.
From my highest knowing.
From my highest knowing.
Good. Now breathe that light all the way down to your root, your pelvis, your hips, legs, and feet. Wow. That was a lot of it. Like you couldn't have your world. Good. So release the old world. That's not your world. That's not your truth. That's not your functioning system. That's not what you need to live by at all. Release all of that. I don't need to live by any of those truths. Say, I don't need to choose that reality.
I don't need to choose that reality.
Good. Now breathe the light beyond your body to the space around your body. Be really, really, really gentle, loving, tender with yourself. Drink a lot of water. And I would say also don't underestimate this, how big this was energetically. So like if you're tired, like nurture yourself how you would if you're like, this is the biggest day of my life. I'm going to cultivate my energy, nurture myself. Okay.
I'm going to take a bath.
That's the best thing. That's the best thing. What I love, celebrate yourself, be really generous with like, whoa, I'm really stepping in. I have this courage I have had is so beautiful, so amazing, so unthinkable. Like what those, the little child is like, I'm willing, I'm opening. That's what you're here for. So just celebrate yourself.
Will. You're awesome, you know.
You're awesome. You're awesome too. It's amazing what we're doing. It is really amazing. Every single day, I'm more in awe of what this really is and what's really happening. And it's amazing to have someone like you to show up and do what you're doing. Right? We're in this world that says this is the definition of who you are. And then there's like something way more powerful that's like, well, this doesn't make any sense. But we awaken to it anyway. You're going to keep discovering who you are. You have skills and capabilities that will awaken as well. Don't be afraid of them. The structures for them will come in.
Thank you.